Hey guys, welcome back. So I figured I would make another update video to the fish room. In addition to the last video that I just posted a few days ago, I've already made a ton of new changes as well. And I kind of just wanted to show those off because I'm so excited about them. So for starters, I fixed up that tank to my right. I added some new plants and gravel to the bowls and the vases that are to my left. And I got a few new plants and just tweaked a little bit of some of my tanks. So yeah, let's get into that. All right, so to start off, I want to review my 5-gallon. So to show you what it used to look like, there it is right there. And now this is what it looks like now. So I went to the store, I bought some driftwood. I didn't change any of the plants. I still have some Java ferns, and I think this is a African water fern. So I kept the plants, so I didn't exactly like rescape it as far as plants, but I did switch around the decor. So I have this nice piece of spiderwood in here now. I have a few rocks sitting around it, mainly to just keep it tight because it still is not waterlogged yet. But this is what it's looking like. It finally looks like a real aquascape and not like a little kid made that tank. So I'm really, really pleased with that. And the only thing I have to really change in this tank or add is an air stone for the tube right there. It was actually hooked into that piece of decor that I had earlier. And now I'm just gonna need something to put on the end of that tube so it could break up the bubbles in the tank. But yeah, the neons are super happy. This is the same 6 that I've always had, always healthy and doing great. I'm really, really pleased with how this came out. And now my next update is over here on this table. Okay, so over in this direction, I have 2 little bowls or vases, whatever you want to call them. And in my last video, there was really nothing going on over here. So kind of just had water, had this bamboo here, but since then I've added really fine gravel to both of them. I have some really tiny plants in this one as well. Very small, but I really like the way they look. And I have this umbrella palm here as well. So of course I'm not putting any fish in these, nothing on that scale, but instead you can't really see any right now because they are so tiny, but if I get any hitchhiker snails in that tank, I just plop them right in here, so hopefully they'll start a little ecosystem. So if we take a look at this one right here, gonna have to zoom in for this. You can just barely see that is a flat ram's horn snail right there. And if you look closely, that's what the gravel looks like in both of these little vases or bowls. Now, both of these still do have some time before they completely clear up. There still is some debris that is in the water column still and needs to slowly settle to the bottom. So hopefully in the next few days that will happen and they'll be crystal clear. Now over here, there's not too much to be said about the 20-gallon. I do have to do a water change and a little bit of a top off. But I am going to spray these leaves with some hydrogen peroxide. Someone mentioned it earlier in my comments on the previous video, and I did know about this method, but I was honestly a little too lazy to actually go about it and do it. So I will be doing that soon when I do my next water change. My gourami is looking absolutely beautiful though, and I'm also gonna get probably 2 new cories for this group as well. You can't see them right now. Well, there's one right there, but I'm gonna get a few more buddies for them. There's just 2 of them now, so they could use a few more friends. And then over here, what I did, I took the Swiss cheese plants that used to be growing out of this, and I put fresh new pothos clippings in there as well. So we'll see how that does. I also added some moss. I'm not too familiar with how terrestrial moss works. I had this actually growing on top of the soil of an other plant that I had, and it's barely just touching the water here. So we'll see how that does. It might die immediately. I'm not big into terrestrial botany, so we'll see how that works. But this tank is crystal clear as usual. And now over in this direction, this isn't exactly fish tank related, but I'm really loving the way it looks over here in this corner. I used to have a pom-pom plant over here, but it wasn't doing so well, so I switched it out for this flamingo flower or lace leaf. There's a bunch of different names for this plant over here. But you can actually hydroponically grow these in fish tanks as well. I don't plan on doing that anytime soon because I like the way it looks in the pot. But yeah, I figured I'd mention that. And I really like the way it looks over here. Alright, so that's just about everything that's been going on here recently in my fish room. I hope you guys enjoyed all the new updates and stay tuned for the next one.